Welcome back into Talking Fitchburg. Join me today from our sustainability, I almost said sustainability club. It's our
Yeah, I
sustainability
love it.
specialist, Phil
Yeah, start up
Groovy.
a
Phil,
club.
I know we should. The club. The club meets after school, Monday through Friday, 3 to 6 p.m. No, we've got Phil here. Phil, we got a lot to talk about, so we're going to dive right into it because I want to get all this great information in. Starting with the sustainability survey and team, we need some members to join our team in the sustainability plan. Tell us where we're at on that and how people can get involved.
Yeah, so we got over 20 people have signed up already. We'd love to get more, up to 30, 40. There's really not an upper limit, short of, if we're going to meet in person, we need a room big enough to hold everybody. But we're looking to get a planning team that will meet 6 or 7 times. It'll be about a 4 or 5 hour meeting monthly from either October and November through the late winter, early spring, just kind of talking about what the city wants to prioritize in terms of sustainability, how we want to categorize everything for our sustainability plan. So we're accepting applications for that still. We'll be sending out a poll shortly to gauge people's availability and what works best for them in terms of week of the month, day of the week, and time of day. But yeah, if you're interested in helping to have a little bit more of a voice on how the sustainability plan moves forward, absolutely consider submitting that application, which you can find linked from the city's website, the page on the sustainability plan. You can also find linked a survey. So as we've talked about in previous months, we're accepting, really trying to get surveys from as many people as possible. We're over 300. I'm not sure the exact number right now, but we've topped 1% of Fitchburg's population. We want to go even higher. Just trying to get feedback from people on their familiarity with sustainability, what their priorities are, what they think the city should or maybe should not be doing to address various components of sustainability, from climate change to resource management, to equity. So yeah, I would love to get as much feedback as possible. If you work in Fitchburg, if you live in Fitchburg, if you just know Fitchburg well and care deeply about it, we really want to get a lot of feedback there.
And Phil, sustainability means so many different things. Under the survey here, what are some of those things that are being asked in there to kind of help people understand what you're taking the survey for, but some of the things that sustainability goes into this plan?
Yeah, so we're looking at a whole host of things, and a lot of this does overlap with other plans in Fitchburg. So that's something that we want to try to figure out, how best to handle that if we really lean into that overlap or if we kind of just reference other plans. But we're looking at everything from, the primary thing. Obviously, right now, one of the biggest challenges facing us is global climate change. So we're looking heavily at things that influence climate change, and that would be energy use, renewable energy, energy efficiency. The sustainability plan will also cover things like waste management and recycling. We'll look at impact on the water systems, although we have a stormwater management plan already. We'll look at equity issues. So we have a housing plan, we have a healthy neighborhoods initiative, but equity is incredibly important. It's one of the, if one way sustainability is talked about as a three-legged stool: energy, environment, equity, and economy. And equity is one of those three legs. So we really want to make sure that we look at this plan from an equity lens. We'll look at natural resource protection, uh, tree canopy, and grass and wildflower coverage versus impervious surfaces that don't allow water to penetrate the soil and have it running off into streams. There's just a lot of different ways that we look at sustainability here, and really the it's hard to it's hard to maybe list all the different categories that go into sustainability. But the big thing is just making sure that we are able to meet the needs that we have right now, while making sure that our impact is not so large that future generations can't also meet their needs. And so it is really, I think one of the criticisms of the environmental movement is that it's anti-development and anti-progress, and that's not really the point of sustainability. We still want to be able to meet the needs that we have today. We just want to make sure that we're doing so responsibly and not pushing all of the world's systems to the limit to a point that we over extract and the generations after us suddenly are struggling.
Yeah, I'm glad you broke those down because I think as I've learned from talking with you, I've learned more about sustainability outside of the things that I thought sustainability represented. So I think important for people to know that encompasses a lot of different things, and that's why we love having you on here because you help us break down some of those barriers to help people understand what's going on in the sustainability world. And in one of those areas includes a project that you'd been working on for a while, the B Cycle, which is a great program and has now expanded to 10 stations across Fitchburg. Tell us about it.
Yeah, so V Cycle is a program. It's a subsidiary of Trek Bikes. They're based in Waterloo, Wisconsin, so it's a local company near and dear to our hearts here. Uh, there has been a B Cycle program in Madison for over a decade, and as of this spring, they had already expanded to a couple stations in Monona, one station in McFarland, right across Lake Wabisa. As of this spring, we have stations in Fitchburg as well. So B Cycle is a really cool program. It really encourages people to get out on bikes. It's a bike share program. So there are docks stationed around the city, and you can go to one of those docks and check out a bike, ride it around, return it either to that station or one of the other ones in this or the rest of the Madison area network. So it's really encouraging people to get out and use bikes for transportation. I love biking. It just feels like a more connected way to ride around the city. I feel like I pay more attention to my surroundings. I get to know the area better than when I'm zipping through in a car. Uh, this also is one way to supplement the public transit network that we have. You know, Madison Metro doesn't get everywhere in Fitchburg. This is one option for trying to kind of expand where you can get if cars aren't available. Now you do pay a subscription, whether you're paying per ride, which is a little bit more expensive, or on a monthly or an annual basis, which is a little bit cheaper if you're riding it regularly. There is a cost to this, and so that's something that we're looking at trying to figure out. You know, of course, there are equity concerns if you have a subscription-based thing. So we know that there are methods for getting folks with income concerns access to Madison Metro, and we're looking at what we can do for B Cycle as well. We do have 10 stations in Fitchburg now, so we had the initial 7 installed this spring, and that included Terra Vesa and the Limerick Senior Housing, Agora, um, let's see, McKee Farms Park, and the Oak Bank Center over on McKee and Seminole, and Hatchery Hill Park, and I'm missing one, the Wyndham Hotel at Hatchery Hill. So those were the 7 initial ones. In the past few weeks, we were able to get started on our phase 2 expansion, which is funded by a DOT grant that the city received, and we currently have new stations at the Boys and Girls Club on Allied Drive, the McKenzie Center that just opened up this summer, and also the Fitchburg Library is now in the game. So you can now pick up a B Cycle from one of those other stations and ride it down to the Fitchburg Library. So that's really exciting. We're going to get some more stations coming out, more city parks, another spot on Civic Campus in the coming weeks, months into next year. But yeah, we're up to 10 sites. We're slowly expanding throughout the city, making it more accessible, more useful, more versatile. Really excited.
Yeah, I mean the things that you see on a bike compared to being in a motor vehicle is night and day. So you can see a lot of cool stuff. I'm glad you made that comment because I always think of that when you go biking, like you really get to see see the community, see things that you wouldn't otherwise see, and what a great opportunity to use the bike share program to even just get out there for another reason to get outdoors and
Yeah.
enjoy what Fitchburg has.
And one of the really cool things about this one is that all of the bikes in the B Cycle network are e-bikes. They're all electric assist. So you can just choose to pedal them. You can turn off that e-assist if you don't want to use it. It's a little bit heavier because of the battery, so you're definitely going to get a workout. But the way that this is set up is essentially if the bike detects you working at a certain level, that e-assist kicks in, the battery provides a little bit of power to the drivetrain, and you put in less effort to go a little bit faster. So I've ridden one of these before. I don't have a lot of experience myself on an e-bike, but I rode one of these as kind of a pilot around Fitchburg, and you're going up hills, and it just feels like a nice leisurely flat ground ride. It's really fantastic. Really lowers the sort of barrier to riding. You know, you don't have to get in your workout outfit and assume you're going to have to shower afterwards. It really makes it a lot easier. If you can sit and balance on a bike, you can ride an e-bike.
Yeah, absolutely. A great experience all around. I think just give it a try. And you can find those 10 locations on our website and through B Cycle's website as well.
Yep.
Finally, want to get in real quick. October 4th represents Energy Efficient Day. Whether or not you celebrate it when you're watching this or not, you can celebrate it every day. But what are the things that are important that we consider as we have this awareness campaign each and every year?
Yeah. So in that theme of making sure that we're being wise about our use of resources, of course, for climate change and other reasons, you just don't like breathing in pollution. We push renewable energy, and we really want to get more reliance on renewable energy as opposed to fossil fuel based energy. But I think it was Amory Lovins back in the 1980s, a prominent energy writer. Amory Lovins coined the term negawatt. That's instead of a megawatt with an M, negawatt, like negative. He said the cheapest kilowatt hour is the one you never use. So instead of just focusing on, well, let's make everything cheaper through renewables and cleaner through renewables, really what we like to talk about is the first step being efficiency, making sure that you're cutting down the amount of energy you're using to the lowest possible, and then replace what's left with renewables. So Energy Efficiency Day is a it's an observance that's been around for a few years now. A number of energy-focused organizations and cities and states and nonprofits really try to push the importance of energy efficiency and conservation in your home, in your workplace, and elsewhere. So the first Wednesday of October every year is recognized as National Energy Efficiency Day. There's a whole website for this. You can go on eeday.com, I believe it is. And get all kinds of great information and advice on ways that you can cut down on your energy bill just through conservation and efficiency. And this is, everything from upgrades to your home's insulation to if you need to replace your HVAC equipment, getting more efficient equipment that wastes less energy, to light bulbs and just cutting down usage. Do you turn off your lights when you're not in a room? Do you have power strips for your appliances that aren't letting what's called vampire load bleed through when devices aren't running? Things like that. There's just a lot of great tips and advice on there. The past couple of years, Fitchburg has had a mayoral proclamation recognizing Energy Efficiency Day. With everything else going on in the summer, honestly, just didn't get around to putting that on the mayor's desk. But certainly, we'll still celebrate it, like you said, today and every day. But October 4th is the official observed date of Energy Efficiency Day this year.
All right, great information. As always, Phil, love chatting with you. Wish we had more time to go, but we'll save it for next month and we can talk
Yeah,
more about
I'll be back.
sustainability and beyond. Thank you so much for all the great information, Phil. If people do want to learn more about some of the initiatives that are going on, find that survey or more, where can they find you on our website?
Check out Fitchburg's Green Fitchburg page on the website. Look at the sustainability plan page that's on there. And you can use the Notify Me alerts on the city's website to sign up for Green Fitchburg alerts. Every 2 or 3 months, I send out a green e-newsletter that's got city goings on, maybe different prominent news items related to sustainability in that newsletter. Yeah, the city website's a great resource for that.
All right, Phil. Thank you so much. Have a great month, and we'll see you back in
Thanks.
November.
Happy fall, Jeremy.